Okay, of course the stream is going to continue. We're going to move up to another replay. Now I'm going to have to look in my mailbox and see if anybody sent anything interesting in. Let me know what you think of the format so far, by the way. Do you like this way of looking at replays and immediately getting feedback from chat as well? Let's see, an interesting match, another D-Day in Paradise, 3v3. I used an Udaloy to land Marines on their side of the map and basically opened the third front we needed to win. Okay. This is going to be interesting. I wonder how much an Udaloy is going to help this guy win. Udaloy push. And the guy who I should be following is SrCartofel. The creativity in usernames that people come up with. Alright, Flavin, I see that you sent in a reply. I'll have a look at it after this one. Okay. Holy crap. 24,000 points to get to. Destruction mode. We are following SrCartofel. Hell in a very small place with Navy. Alright. Hey guys, Stealth here. Welcome back to a new Wargame video. Today I have an interesting description for this replay. It was sent in by SrCartofel, and he was writing in the description how an Udaloy is going to help him win the game. Now, I'm a bit skeptic, because Udaloys generally on this map, well, they have ships generally, not Udaloy specifically, they have a bit of a limited impact. They can make it all the way to Bravo if they're able to push through and then neutralize Delta, but that's not the only spawn zone that the enemy team is going to have. They will also have Echo. Now this is another one of those videos that I live recorded on stream, or that I am currently live recording, depending on when you're looking at it. So it's going to be possible that you see chat on screen and me responding to chat. It's an experimental format that I'm using, and let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. Or, of course, on chat if you're watching it. Now we have SrCartofel sending in his transport, or his command unit, MI8s, elite MI8s at that. Reconnaissance infantry. I wonder where he's going to take those guys. I'm not really sure. He could be trying to go to Hotel or Charlie. Maybe Alpha. We'll just have to see. Now this is a 10v10. So it's going to be a lot of units. And considering that we're going to 24,000 points, this is going to be a hell of a fight. I'm not actually seeing any helo rushes, interestingly. I mean, yes, they have larger groups of helicopters, but these are not helo rushes. These are not massive groups of combat helicopters. So that's a good start. Who's this? Kathmandu. Pushing forward with a bunch of helicopters, seemingly hell-bent on capturing this town very, very quickly. Z98s, TY90s. So this is his air cover. And this is air cover provided by French 44. First missiles are coming in and being received. Stop your forces! Oh, wrong bridge. Never mind. Units cannot actually get to this bridge this quick. Because all these guys, or at least most of these guys, are wheeled. And the only unit that's actually close to that bridge is a command vehicle. A wheeled command vehicle. So he should have fired somewhere either there or here. Well, it looks like Rambo's not the only one trying to get his infantry in a position quickly. Blue is also very much interested in getting their units deployed. And unfortunately for Rambo, he does not have a lot of air cover, and they do. He might, however, get a little bit of vengeance with his silos over here. There we go. Oh, did wipe out one of them. Currently, Dimitri is the only player with points. I wonder. Could that be, by any chance, a player who has artillery? Where is Dimitri? I have no idea. So what's he using? Because this is Hazardous J. That's another more... Yeah, there's more units from Hazardous J. What the... Okay. Is it over here? Because I didn't see any fight go on over here either. The only skirmishes that I've seen were here and there. But he just scored 400 points. Maybe it's a plane. Maybe it's a plane. That's possible. He could have taken down a couple of aircraft. Oh my fucking god. I'm looking at blue 4. This is one of the biggest derps I must have ever done on a video. I was looking for Dimitri on red 4. Yeah, no shit. He's a blue 4 player. He's not going to be on red 4, you idiot. Okay. I was going to say we'll just cut that out, but... oh well. Okay. It seems that these islands are currently being secured by Yukionde. Looks like he's not really too happy with enemy units possibly being here. Also seeing a Muna. And there's the command infantry moving into position. 1,000 points for red, 670 for blue. Look at this Corsair. Where's he trying to go? Quad stacks of infantry, are you sure? That's... and then another one. Oh. That's one of my patrons. That's Daimyo. I know him. He's providing quite a bit of fire support with his 495s, but there is a lot of red 4 infantry that can still make a hefty move on this forest. They're also getting very far up ahead here. I really like how Kathmandu is pushing up all his forces in one big line. SPG 9Ds, Sappersy. Yeah, if they descend upon this town, that can go down very quickly. But of course, he's not going to go in there unannounced. He's going to be running over units quickly, but they will see him coming. Canadian rifles are going to be in the fight of their lives right about now. Now, in case you've never heard my never quad stack rant, this is why. These units are all being fired at the same time, meaning that they all start panicking at the same time. If you drop a bomb at it, they're all going to die at the same time. That's why you don't quad stack. At least why I generally don't do it. And Daimyo is just going to get completely rolled out of this town. It's just not a chance. These challengers are going to pose a bit of a problem to the Mutterschützen, but other than that, I'm not too concerned. Just look at how much these guys have pushing forward. There's even Modernas, 3 of them no less. Okay. There's the other Canadian rifles. Nowhere to go, but back. And that's not likely to happen. Now, there are mortars which are providing fire support, but it's barely arriving on time, these shells. What do we have going on here? There's so much going on a 10v10. Ninjas engaging Mi-2Ts. That was to be expected. There's a command infantry here. And a Zippo. Oh. So even if they do capture these buildings, it's about to get real warm. At least they got full control of this forest, I'll give you that much. Holy crap. At this point, it doesn't really matter much where you try and drop a bomb, or where you hit with your HE artillery, you're going to hit something. It's just... the whole forest is crawling with Russians. How's the right doing, though? Oh. I don't like what I'm seeing here. Rambo is calling for help. That's a sentence I never thought I'd utter. Rambo's calling for help as there is nothing on this flank. All the forces that were going here, and I don't think that there were that many to begin with, that's just... it's wiped out. It's all gone. Pull back across the river and with recon and HGMs, yeah. Hazardous J is trying to reinforce. We're also seeing some Kurshins with elite infantry. I gotta quickly check what he was using. North Korean Marine deck is what we're following from SrCartofel. When I saw that, I thought, I need to have a look at this. Because a game where a North Korean Marine deck is used, it's experimental. Kurshins are pushing forward. If these guys can at least deploy some... oh, you might want to get out right about now. Kurshins bravely firing back with their Grom against a Merc of a 2B. Good luck with that. Get out and get into the forest. Well, they're both panicked. But they're also both alive, mostly. Pathfinding for Wargame is still a little off sometimes. Oh, never mind. This vehicle got lagged behind. Okay, so what do we have to back this part up? Transports, 1 recon, 1 more unit of infantry, although it is elite. A couple of recon units and a Jalo. Good one. In the meanwhile, the entire force seems to have moved up and is slowly but steadily going out of fuel. Look at that. These transports, autonomy 350, yeah, well, they only carry 400 liters of fuel for 350, so yeah, it's to be expected. Daimyo has been retreating towards this bridge over here. Now his Canadian rifles have nowhere to go. Again, quad stacking. Very risky. Somebody hammers this bridge, and they are increasingly likely to do that to try and suppress enemy reinforcements. You're just gonna get hammered. And there we go. There's the artillery. Pretty much landed as expected. Fortunately for him, his Canadian rifles are moving out of there just in time. But, ooh, that was close. We now have eyes on the command infantry. But we... oh, that was a Zippo. We probably don't have the firepower to kill it. It's interesting to see how the line's divided currently. Red is, I'd say, in full control of this part of the map. Just the whole left island. The right side is much more divided. They have... well, they have a very far frontal spotter for the Spetsnaz. Or in the form of the Spetsnaz. We don't know what's going on here. This entire tree line is blind. And this is the only line of defense that they currently have. So this is tricky. Yngvik 90 pushing into 14, surviving FKP. They're not alone. Navy SEALs and SAS, yeah. Just putting an attack marker and getting the hell out of there. Thankfully, there is some artillery support, which I think is coming in, yeah, from Hazardous J. But that's not going to be enough to save these guys. There we go. Now, they were saying set up a defensive line with reconnaissance. Reconnaissance, check. But ATGMs, other than the Brendryen, You could argue, though, that you don't need anything which has longer range than the Brendryen. Because a Conqueror's HGM would just get killed off in one shell. One round from a tank and you're done. Brendryen, not so much. So yeah, I'll take that back. I think that what Rambo is doing over here, defending this flank with Brendryen, is actually working out better. T64 BVI fighting up against Nani on Cheeky. Yeah, he won that on rate of fire. Canadian rifles. I think these are the guys that we saw leave the bridge earlier. And they're getting boxed in. They're taking napalm fire from the Sappersy. They're taking a lot of machine gun and assault rifle fire from the Mudstrelky. I'm not sure why he's not taking over that building, though, with the Mudstrelky. I think he might have had these guys on attack move. Now, what is going on here? Oh! Hello. That was a command infantry unit. And that was a command infantry unit that was actually countering his command. So Anna is back under their control. Which helps. But the question is... Well... I mean, it provides them with income. But other than that, not a whole lot. So do you really need to invest this much infantry in it? Because these guys are not cheap. They're 30 points each. Add to that a helicopter costing you 25. This is quite the investment in forces. And seeing how the right flank is fairly weak, you could argue that you could have a couple of, let's say, mobile troops. Maybe 2 or 3 Yukonde squads with helos to just contain this area. I'm not sure if you really need something heavier than that. HEMLRS comes in. Possibly suppressing something in that forest, although I'm not really sure. Now, I know I could switch to neutral, but SrCartofel especially asked me to have a look at that kill list at the end of the game. So if I switch it now to neutral, I'm going to lose his kill list. I don't want to do that. 80 points. Now blue's at 3,700 and red's at 4,800. The game still has 30 minutes left. This could easily swing either way. I know that one of the guys left though. Chief Banter, I think he left. So it's in 10v9 at the moment. Yeah, their foothold in this forest is just too weak. Blue just has too many forces over here. Lenny surrenders. Red 4. That's actually the guy who was one of the most points on that team. Now, note how he surrendered first and then left the game. That means he actually intentionally surrendered, instead of just alt F4ing out of the game. More HE artillery coming in. That might wipe out, or at least delay further infantry movement. But I don't think that the infantry in here currently is in any fighting shape to make a move on these units over here anyway. If they know that they're there, that is. Wow. You're ready for anything, are you? This is new. He's using 4 anti-ship missile launchers, the Redoute. These things fire muskets. One of these things hits your ship, and, well, you better have a very, very expensive ship, or your ship just sinks. But I generally don't like the Redoute, because they only fire 1 missile. The problem with that is that they all need to fire at the same time, and if you cannot coordinate that, then most missiles will just harmlessly get intercepted by the Sea-Wiz and or the missile defenses from ships. So they're not that likely to be effective. That's why I prefer to overwhelm them with units such as aircraft. Because not only do they usually fire more than 1 missile, but they also have the capacity of getting automatically resupplied, instead of having to bring an Mi-4 cargo over to your missiles. Or at least your missile platforms. interesting though, now that I think about it. The Redoute is a hell of a missile. That thing is really, really big. How does that fit aboard an MI4? I don't see it. I wonder how much supplies these things actually take if they need to fire once. Maybe we'll get a chance to look at that. Close, but not enough. They have taken out the forest and the occupying force in the town, though. I'm not sure what exactly happened to the monitor that we saw earlier. Sometimes, since this river is so shallow, you can still see a mast sticking out of the water. But I haven't seen that yet. Now there's an HE bombardment going in and a smokescreen going up. This is a bit too well coordinated for these guys to not be on voice comms. Because I saw no attack markers going up. Yeah, one attack marker from Kathmandu. But I think that the combination of having both a smokescreen to block your approach, or to at least mask your approach, and to also have that HE bombardment coming in at the same time, that was well coordinated. Unfortunately, the commandos, well, they just don't really care. And the Mostrelki don't really like it. Artillery is now raining down on the... No, it's smoke. I thought that was going to be HE. What are your plans? Oh. There goes one Redoute. Are you seriously trying to barbecue a resupply helo? What the hell? Okay. See, now he lost 25% of his anti-ship missile capacity. These things aren't terribly expensive, but 3 missiles are even easier to intercept than 4. Now it seems that, despite their initial push failing, they are still pushing in with further infantry, but at this point the smokescreen has faded. And now Blue Force infantry is having a pretty easy time defending this forest, or sorry, this town. You can see the commandos are pushing, or at least fighting back. There were commandos in here as well. And some fire support units over there. I saw a couple challengers. Yeah, this is not going to work, I think. The foothold is just too weak. Speaking of footholds. Oh, I don't like this unit moving up here. How are we doing? 44 versus 6,000. Not bad. Hachiki-Yoshikis. You don't want to have those in your flank up close. That's a lethal autocannon. And a missile at that. Oh dear. Oh, you're lucky. That could have finished off the T-72BU instantly. Kills off one of them. Rambo says incoming. And he drops... No, he drops HE bombs. Napalms. Yeah, the same 912. Okay. That's a lot of firepower. I suddenly figure out where those rains of HE rockets are coming from. It's this. This is exceptionally risky, though. In case you've never seen one of these, this is an Udaloy 2. They are very, very good at shooting down missiles, but they are also exceptionally expensive at 500 points. Now, they do have 8 ship-to-ship missiles. They have 64 medium-range anti-air missiles, and they have a very good gun on them. The dual AK-130MR. And I'm not exactly sure why he brought in a Udaloy and not a Sovereign Many. Because I'd say in this situation a Sovereign Many would be more useful. And here's why. The Sovereign Many has more guns. It has, I think, more ammo, although I'm not 100% on that. And especially its air or its anti-air missiles are longer range. This thing is going to have to get quite close. And the problem with that... There we go, there's the first missile coming in. The problem with that getting quite close is that you might not just take missiles from aircraft, but you might also take gunfire. There we go. That's seed missiles for you. He's starting to flood. There's another Harrier coming in. More seed. Kathmandu is wondering what the hell's going on. Why? I'm wondering the same thing, but according to the description, this is all going to work out. Let's see it. Look at this, he's also flying in with further infantry units. He is, however, with this ship, capable of neutralizing any units that might come in to reinforce this town, at least from this side. The other side, of course, is very hard to stop. But from over here, anti-ship missiles. Shot down 1, 2, 3, 4-ish. Yeah, this is what the Udaloy is very good at. Shooting down anti-ship missiles. He does have a CV spotted. And these guys are getting very, very far into enemy territory. Utterly unchallenged, I might add. They just wave at the gazelles they're flying past. Because at the moment they just cannot do anything. These guys cannot hit the gazelle, and the gazelle is unarmed. The Harrier is being scrambled in to try and get a short-range air-to-air missile hit in on the helicopters. Oh, this thing's taken severe damage, but the infantry is on the ground. And note how he's landing the helos. So he is not interested in taking these helos up and presenting them as an air target. But a ground target could be just as deadly. Fortunately, the infantry is alive. Although these guys won't be around for much longer. Now, if he's able to capture this area with the Udaloy, neutralize the enemy command vehicle, then they can all of a sudden bring in Marines from over here. If that's his play and it works, then that could work out really well. There we go, it's neutralized. So the Udaloy is countering the blue 4CV. Can they get it? I'd say it's usually here or here. But if it was a vehicle, they'd already found it. Pumpkin surrenders. Blue 4. Uh-oh. Forgot about those. He nailed one. The other one gets close enough. And they'll take it out. But they're still looking for... Oh, shit. They're still looking for the command vehicle. It looks like he has a couple of planes over here to dissuade anyone from... Yep, there we go. Udaloy's on the move. He's trying to dissuade anyone from countering this ship here with planes. Blue spawning in counter air patrols. There's the Block 52 again. This one's capable of shooting down both aircraft and pumping missiles into the Udaloy. There we go. Block 52 shot down. He captured it. And he lost it again. Is the Udaloy moving? Udaloy is moving. Stop that ship. Seriously. You need to... There we go. Hold it and deploy as much stuff as you can. 110 points. That was a command vehicle. Immediately spawns in more units. You king. I hope that other units or other players also have naval units. Now normally I'm saying whoever needs naval units anyway, but if nobody spawns in naval and you're bold enough, then it can work. Now it looks like all the Schmells are putting up a screen of HE to try and dissuade anyone from trying to get too close to Boris. Here's all the U-Kings coming in. Kathmandu is also spawning in U-Kings. We got Cheongju's coming in. These are short-range coastal support vessels, if I'm not mistaken. He will lose this infantry, I think. Well, he might win that. Odd Lizard, I did see your idea in the comments. I like that. Kind of commenting reply together with somebody in a more kind of podcast kind of way. Yeah, I like that. I have just the Irish guy for the job. Oh crap, they need to counter this and quick. BTRs are limited in their effectiveness against helos. The U-Kings with their dual type 61s. Well, I don't think they can keep the Lynxes away for too much. Fortunately, these things also float. The BTR 60 PB. So even if the U-Kings die, you can drop off these guys quickly. And then, hopefully, your infantry survives. Going Bobyongs. Recoilless rifles. Okay. Here's the Cheongjus. They're only rookie. They have an 85mm gun, a couple of machine guns, and rocket pods. Now, Dmitry is definitely threatened. Elena, not so much. Lenate is still neutral, Constantine's still secure, but the fact that they're able to get here is not a good sign. Lenate secured by the enemy. Seriously, I scroll away and they capture it. Okay. Shouju Buntai coming in. They're doing everything to try and keep the enemy away from their main spawn. It's just a slugfest here. But they're unlikely to get Redfor out of Boris at the moment. It's just... well... they might neutralize the sector, but killing off an Udaloy, good luck. At this range, the only thing that can do that is tanks, and the tanks are going to constantly get hammered by 8 HE shells. So they will quickly lose their nerve and start to spread their fire all over the place. So the only thing that could push this thing out is aircraft. And then again, you'd have to come in with a lot of them. Bobyongs pushing through the Gavati. We now have units from pretty much all nations over here. HE bombardment is coming awfully close, but so far it seems to be helping, as any infantry unit is going to get hit by the Schmells. And so far, well, if I were to deploy my units, I would come in from here and go through the forest. And my units at this point would be dead. Helo spawns and that's a Cobra. The Cobra already took damage. I think that was from the HE bombardment. Alright, let's see. Now they have a slight bridgehead over here, but it's not very strong. There's not a whole lot going on there. I think that Blue 4, insofar as they still have players, I think they still have plenty of them. Just know that Chief Banter, Pumpkin, and Retard 90 left. And they're trying to just hold on to Dmitry. And it's not going too well. I wonder how there's still 14 minutes left on this game. They're not likely to get to 24,000 points in 14 minutes. So I don't think that that's going to be it. Udaloy once again taking aim. And it it does not get the air kill. How many launchers does the thing have? Ah. These are the launchers. No surprise that it's able to launch missiles this quick. There's another 115-point air kill. There's not a Harrier. Typhoon. There's only has 12 missiles left. Firing again. Typhoon hit. Dead. Not his kill. I think that was the Wasum Chong that killed it. Yep, that thing immediately went to lead. Well, I gotta hand it to him. When I saw this replay come in, I was very skeptical how an Udaloy could make the difference in a game like this. But the Udaloy, by pushing into this sector and neutralizing it in this sense, it did work. And it worked actually better than I had expected. Now you could argue, yeah, but that's all down to a completely inappropriate or lackluster response from Blue 4. Maybe. They got away with it. I mean, part of Wargame is hoping that your enemy makes mistakes. So, those comments that I frequently get on my videos where people say, yeah, but Blue 4 played terribly, or Red 4 was a bunch of noobs. Maybe. But you have to exploit the mistakes from the enemy and just run with it. That's what he's doing. Those Hwasung Chongs are remarkably dangerous. Their accuracy on the Igla is 55%. I remember when these things, I think it was the start of Red Dragon, when these things just came out, I really had to get used to the fact that vehicles, infantry transports, could be so lethal to aerial units. It was just a completely new concept for me. And then to also carry infantry, it was just, what? And I think that especially during the Second Korean War campaign, I was really surprised how effective these things were in countering the units that I was deploying against them. So naturally, I was deploying the entirely wrong unit. Alright, I think we've seen the most interesting part of this replay. Peace Pheasant wiping out some more stuff here. Alright, I'm gonna 10x it. 'Cause I think that currently there's not too much going on. Yeah, you need to keep hold of Boris. Yep. Okay, so they did bring a command vehicle in. Fortunately, these guys were able to spawn in. There we go. Oh, no, not quite. If I were to hazard a guess, I'd say that either potentially more than one command vehicle or a very heavily armored one. Oh crap. That's a lot of infantry to counter. The fire here, says Hazardous Joy. Where the hell is that infantry? There. No. Udaloy is panicked. See, this is the problem. The Udaloy is very close to shore. The challengers are now going to have a field day just target practicing on the Udaloy. The Udaloy has far more hit points than they do. And even though HE shells don't really hurt a tank that much, it's just not that lethal. I mean, the Udaloy is at far more risk than the challengers are, but the challengers, thanks to all those HE explosions, are getting panicked. More missiles coming in. A Peace Pheasant. Interesting. Lots of air power. Napalm and HE. No counter whatsoever. Turn off the musket. When did he ever use the musket? Still some skirmishing going on in Leonid. Yeah, let's just skip to the end. I want to see how well this Udaloy actually did. These things cost 500 points. You could say that even though he might not have gotten 500 points out of it, he still got his money's worth, as they were able to open a second flank due to the fact that the Udaloy was there. And because of that, holy crap. Because of that, they won the game. So even if a unit does not get all the kills and does not get enough points to warrant its own expense in that sense, doesn't break even, it can still have a very high impact on the game. Alright, 45 minutes came up. Kartoffel, 2100 points, 1400 kills. Oh, sorry, 1400 losses. Here's the Udaloy. Oh! Okay. 1 CV. Let's count. That's 100 points. A Gazelle AH1. I think that's 60 points. This is 160 points. Linkstow 2. That's about 60 points. Sea Harrier FRS 1. That's 100 plus, I think. Tornado F2s. That's further 140 points each. So 100, 160, 320, 420. I'm just estimating this to some extent. 520. I think these are 140 a pop or 130. So it's 520, 650, 780. A Kernus 2000 is also quite expensive. I'll give it another 130 points. I think he made it well over 1,000 points here with that one Udaloy. And aside from that, he also won the game with it. So that was very well done. Very well done. Alright, well, that concludes the video. I really enjoyed seeing how one Udaloy, in an unexpected way, was able to defeat this force. He didn't do it alone. Sure enough, it was a team effort because he also needed the artillery support from, I think, Hazardous J, and he needed support from Kathmandu, but he got it done. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. Let me know how you're thinking of this type of replay discussion, and I'll see you soon for more Red Dragon gameplay.